happening, people? What is happening? Hit that like button if you don't mind. If you don't mind. I wanna be your part-time. What is going on? What is happening, people? What is happening? So, hit that like button as you come in. So smash it for me. Or hit the dislike button. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and share the video out with people. So I'm ready to go get me something for my libation. And then we'll get started. What's happening, people? How you all doing this morning? Today's the 7th. All my days are scrambled together. So happy Thursday. My first day off, and I've been at work last couple days. Came in and did some fun stuff last night. But what is happening? Well, who we got in here early this morning? Shout out to everybody that's here. You know how we get it. What you all playing and where you're from. Let's see here. You don't have to put the city, put the state. Get this work says, yo. I'm like, hey, what's happening? So, Salmash had to push it back. Yeah, it's for some reason, when I go to create streams, it's creating like a separate stream. So I spent the last like 20 minutes trying to figure that out. It's like YouTube has changed it. They've changed it. So it's just a pain in the you know what. Up, CJUK. How are you doing? How are you doing? So, Billy Alraka, how you doing? So I hope everybody's doing all right. So, Wind Sweep is present. Uh-oh, Brigadier William Wilderbeest. What's up, man? Long time no see. How are you doing over there in that beautiful, beautiful island? Certainly hope that everything is copacetic. So, Nista producer, what's going on? How you doing? So, Ice Queen, how are you doing, young lady? Top of the morning to you. Hopefully you have some tea and crumpets this morning. So, how you doing? Capono 515, how are you? Capono 515, did you win that PS-5 from Marlin Gaming Nation? So shout out to Marlin Gaming Nation. He's trying to give away a PS-5. So that's right, the People's Champ. That's exactly who I am. I am the People's Champ. So what is happening? So Nick is in Ohio. Well, I'm from Ohio. So Monktail is from Sweden. All right. Well, what is going on in Sweden? Like, is it cold there? Like, is it cold in Sweden all the time? So, I mean, it looks cold. The Swedish people are, if you play Assassin's Creed, aren't some of those Vikings, are some of them Swedish? I mean, I can't remember. I'm going to play Assassin's Creed again today. It says the PS5 costs $1,500 USD. Yeah, that's an L right there. That is an L. He said it's at the mall. Oh my. Yeah, they can keep that. Look, I like the PS5. I get PS2 vibes from it. I for real get PS2 vibes from it. But it ain't worth no 1,500 stacks. There ain't no way. So Let's see here. Almost says he already has a PS5. Now you're talking. So, let's see. Plus Ultra, always a pleasure. How are you doing? Hit that like button. All right, well, let's get it started here. Early in the morning. So I did I want to give a shout out to everybody that did the survey and got pretty good, pretty much where I thought things were. 20% want to see more gameplay. 20 more percent want to see they want to hear me talk about different stuff, movies and things like that, some politics. Not a whole lot of politics, some movies and stuff like that. And but the vast majority want PS5 and PC type of news. So that's why this podcast is on that. Now the podcast I do tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening will be, I'll do some movies and stuff like that tomorrow evening. So still waiting to hear from Paul G. If Paul G doesn't contact me by, we'll give him till, he's a member, so I'll give him till 7 o'clock tonight Eastern time. If, what survey? Oh, what did people want to see more on the channel in 2021? So it was movies and stuff, and another was gameplay. That was another, and then the other was PS5 and PC discussions, something like that. And obviously PS5 and PC discussions won out, which is perfectly fine. But those other people who want to, there's 20% that want to see some different things, and so I'll be building towards them as well to bring more content for them as well. I just have to say, again, I'm starting another podcast to do that anyway. So that podcast will be for that 40%. That will, and it doesn't mean there won't be some game talk on there either. But but the majority of that will be movies and pop culture things and things like that. So that's all. Just going into 2021. I don't look at it as a channel change as much as I look at it as a channel addition. So yeah, always check the community tab. I always put things in the community tab. So and if you aren't part of the community tab, that's you don't cost nothing. That's just part of being in the community. So which is free. So the PS5 is really hot right now. You gotta turn it off, man. Or just hot, like hard to find hot. So, you mean like hard to find hot? So, so I haven't had mine on for a couple days because I've been at work. But I will play it today. So it's like the Swedish people eat a lot of fish, don't they? That's what he's putting up there. So. What's up, True Virgil? Thanks for the support going into the new year. Appreciate you. It's a Swedish bikini team. Y'all are something else. So, but what is happening? But yeah, we got some PS5 versus PS4 tech talk. A developer talked about how big of a leap it is and what the two biggest factors are. We could talk a little bit about the PS5 exclusives in 2021. If you're building a computer right now, GPUs, unless you're going to get like a basic computer that does 1080p, 60. Which if that's what you're going to build, that you got GPUs out there for that. But your high-end GPUs, mid to high-end GPUs, you can't find them anywhere. I'm talking about, I found like a 5500 XT. I found a NVIDIA 1660, which is a 1080p card, which, let me make this clear, isn't bad. Okay? So I've said this to several people, and shout out to the people that are starting to build their PCs. I know a guy got the 1660, and he got a 500 watt power source, and he got his case. So he's starting to build his computer. So, and he's going to go get his SSD because he got his trunk bucks. So I was one of the many people that used H&R Block last year, and my trunk bucks weren't there. I mean, I was one of the people, I was 38 hot when my trunk bucks weren't there on Monday. So, because it is what it is. Hey, yeah, we're going to talk about the Microsoft. Microsoft had a survey out, and I'll start with that. So Microsoft had a survey out, and it allegedly is asking people, do they want some of the features that are on the DualSense? And this is why I take the position that the console war is over. Okay, it's not that because so think about what Microsoft has to do. They're getting all this feedback from everybody, from the PC community to their own gaming community, that the PlayStation DualSense gamepad is the best gamepad out there, and it is, okay? It just is. And this solves the whole notion on people going back and forth on which one is better and which one can do what. The DualSense is the best gamepad ever made. Okay, it does all kind of things. I mean, you'll be playing and you'll start hearing stuff, and I'm like, where's that noise coming from? Oh, it's coming from the DualSense. You know, if you're playing Spider-Man with the DualSense, if you're swinging left to right, you actually feel it. Okay, you actually feel the tension in the webbing. You know, when it's stretching, so it gives you, like Mark Cerny was saying, more immersion. Okay, it gives you more immersion, and that's what Cerny was going for with the developers. More immersion, better ways to deliver content, better ways in the sense that not putting the stress on your GPU and CPU, or not putting as much stress. That's what developers are going to start doing in the future. In the future, the PS-5 is made for developers who want to start streaming in data. I mean, you heard Tim Sweeney and the Epic guys talking about the streaming in of data so that they don't have to use as much RAM, as much storage, so that they can just get it and go. And that's kind of the PlayStation 5 secret as far as why it's outperforming. And I told you guys that the PS5 was going to outperform the Xbox Series X, because from what I had been told was true, was that the PS5, you were going to be closer to as far as overall, your gaming experience was going to be closer to a 2070 Super. Okay, and I'm talking about overall. There's going to be some games that don't do that as well. There's going to be some games that do better. Okay, but overall, your experience this generation is going to be roughly what a 2070 was going to be, and that is the truth, guys. That's the truth. I told you guys, and not just you, but I've been on several podcasts, and I said ray tracing wasn't going to be as big a deal as what some of these guys are mentioning. Okay, it wasn't going to be as huge a deal as you thought. And it's not. It's not that, I told you guys it wasn't going to be as a big a game change as HDR was. And it's not going to be, not on a console. Okay, now if you want the full kit and caboodle, you go get you a PC build, you get the 6000 series from AMD, you get the 3000 series from NVIDIA, and you will enjoy ray tracing. You'll be a ray tracing, Godzilla. You'll be the Godzilla of ray tracing. So, but on a console, it's going to be rudimentary. It's going to look good. I mean, the ray tracing again, I'm playing Spider-Man, the remaster on PS5. Insomniac putting in the mode, the performance mode with ray tracing, that's what I hope again, this is what Insomniac did with this. And people will say, well, Naughty Dog is their best developer. I don't know. Okay, I'm really starting to think Insomniac is going to turn out to be their best developer. As far as implementation, Naughty Dog, I think I don't know. I guess Naughty Dog with the Last of Us Part 1. I don't know what that's like to play on the PS-5. Okay, I have not downloaded it. I haven't done that yet. I know it's 4K native because it's 4K native. I think on the Pro. I think it has a 60 FPS mode. So I can't. I played it once. Like I said, it's one of the best written games, if not the best written game I've ever played. I don't know. Maybe that game with those pasty white girls, Life is Strange. That's a great written game as well. I like the writing in that. I love the writing. But people got to understand that that's what they're dealing with, and try not to compare. And I took a risk. Try not to compare AMD stuff to NVIDIA stuff. Now I did in this case simply because I had a couple sources tell me that that the PS5 was being spec'd very close to where a 2070 and like a Ryzen 27. It's hard to know with the Zen, but like the Ryzen 2700X. If you combine those two together, that's roughly what you're going to get on a PlayStation 5. And again, sometimes you'll get much better performance, sometimes you won't. But overall, your performance is going to be in that area. And if you're a PC guy, you kind of know how to go in and spec and be like, oh, okay, so for this game, like Devil May Cry, and Assassin's Creed, that's running with very high to ultra settings. Okay, because there is a such thing as ultra, then you have a step down, you have very high. So it's very good, very good. So considering it's $500 and it's doing all this stuff, or $400, because I know a lot of people went digital, or went digital, so. But I did not go digital. I still collect physical things. So I'm an old man, and that's just what old folks do. That's why when you go to your uncle's house, he's got all that collection stuff. He'll always say he loves you to death, but you don't go near your uncle's collection. Don't go to his Beatles collection. He's been collecting those Beatles albums for years. So it takes time to build your collection. So you can get away with getting some tools. You can get away with getting some screwdrivers and a wrench and a hammer, but you can't take nothing electrical, right? There's just some things that are understood. I have not played Watch Dogs yet. So yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about that too, True Virgil. So I don't mind it, but the fact that Microsoft, go back to that, Microsoft doing that means that they are taking the knee. And I've said multiple times the console war is over. Sony won the console war. Sony's console is the better console. Okay? Their hardware is better. Now, you can argue, well, the hardware's always been better. That's fine. But to me, it's no reason to keep going back and forth with them because, one, they weren't right about anything. This is why a lot of them went radio silent and are talking about tools, which is not true, but we'll just leave it alone. Just leave it alone because it's sad where you're to a point where grown men can't admit they were wrong about stuff. So, I had people say to me, well, based on the raw specs, the Xbox Series X should be outperforming the PlayStation. I said, that's not true, and anybody who knows anything about PC gaming understands. Like I said before, when that NVIDIA guy had on that leather jacket and was in his kitchen pulling those cards up out of his tush, I'm thinking, everybody said the same thing. hey, look, those cards look great. Oh, they're priced very competitively, but we got to get some real world numbers. I mean, everybody understands that except the Xbox community. Okay, so they ended up being wrong, and now they're lying, talking about it's about tools, it's about tools, it's about tools. You know, so it's never been about tools. You know, so you know, because if it was about tools, you know, people would have told you, hey, look, Xbox has got some tooling issues, and PlayStation's going to be outperforming it. That's what they would have told you. But the reason they didn't tell you is because they didn't know, and they didn't know because they don't know anything anyway. So, you know, just it is what it is. So why is the PlayStation outperforming the Xbox? Well, pretty much they got rid of a lot of these things called bottlenecks. And so, I mean, you all can go look up what that is. I'm not going to get into it with you about that stuff. But whatever these bottlenecks are, and it's not that the PlayStation 5 is perfect. Like I said, I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm pretty sure my character walked right through a tree. But I could have been wrong, because it was 9 o'clock at night. I've been playing like an hour and a half. I could have seen it wrong. But as far as that, it's a good-looking game. It is one of the best-looking games, especially the draw distances. My God, I don't know how they do stuff like that. I'm going to be bringing on a developer in a couple of weeks talking about like how the games are actually made engine-wise. You know, how in the world can you, you know, why does the Euphoria engine from Rage do this, but the Unreal engine, you get the same physics and it'll do something different? You know, how does that work? What provides the best authentic feel of somebody doing it? You know, how do you decide what engine to use? And stuff like that. So, Capono 5150 says he knows there's nobody talks power anymore. Yeah, you're right. They went radio silent. And, you know, you have the way the information is actually being delivered to you. Okay? So, you know, I don't know. We got this Ninja Foodie here, and if I press a button on my Ninja Foodie, it goes from 0 to 350 in like, I don't know, like under 2 seconds. So that's ridiculous. I mean, that's. I didn't think something could get that hot ever. I didn't think fire gets that hot that fast. You know, but you know, just the way the information can be delivered from the PlayStation is just a different way to do it. And once the developers again start streaming in data and taking it off of the hard drive, or taking it from the different spots from the drives and moving the information around and stuff like that, the most efficient way to deliver it to you, according to these developers, is streaming it to you. So, again, I didn't understand how that worked till I saw that Unreal demo. That's why I was playing a little bit of that earlier. And all that stuff was being streamed in. And I still do not understand why and how they do it. Because, and again, that demo was preset, so it's not like that character was going to a whole bunch of different places. And that, to me, is the challenge of that. Like, it's going to be open world games. You know, how do I know? You know, how does it know that I'm going to go to a certain spot? How does it know I'm going to pick up the red pin instead of the green pin? How does it know if I move the character back to the back of the house and I'm going to go to the basement or to the bedroom? You know what I'm saying? You know, so it has to have instantaneous stuff. Hold on. Always on podcasting, isn't it? All the time. All right, my bad. My bad. People want something all the time. People getting their Trump bucks, now people are calling. All right, so, yeah, so the most asked for thing is the adaptive triggers. Well, again, I've seen some stuff with PS-5, and shout out to BitCloud because he did a good video. I guess you all know that they very well could be working on a PS-5 Slim, and they could be working on a PS-5 Pro, which means it will be more powerful. For all you power-hungry kids out there, you're going to be looking at something closer to the 11.6 T-flops. If you're into that, let me make that clear. You're going to be, if you're into that, a little more bandwidth, a little bit smaller, apparently, is what I've been told. So, all you all who are into that T-flop and all that stuff, you all can have at it, okay? Just understand, Microsoft is going to always build a more powerful console because they don't have the games to compete with Sony and or Nintendo. So, and I'll give Phil Spencer credit. Phil Spencer has always said we are building the most powerful Xbox ever. Okay, Phil Spencer has never come out with a statement, at least that I have seen, where he says that all multi-plat games are going to look and run better on our console. So he didn't do that this generation, and that's because I believe, and he's not stupid. They know what each other's working on, and Phil Spencer did fib when he said in an interview he didn't want to say that Xbox would be more powerful because he didn't know what Sony had. That's not true. So, that's not true. Sony went with a much faster SSD to help get through the wall and all that kind of stuff, and Microsoft went with more static. I'm the one that was on Twitter saying that, hey, all you idiots are talking about variable rate shading and variable rate refresh, but you're attacking variable rate clock speed, which makes no sense because you don't want in order for something to be efficient, you don't want it running at maximum 100% all the time. It's not going to be as efficient as something, because what if I deliver, if I pick up trash and I deliver 10,000 barrels of trash and you go at 100%, it takes you 10 seconds to get rid of it. Okay, fine. That's a good exchange of energy. But what if I only deliver, 250? What if I only deliver 250? Okay? So if I only deliver 250, then there's no way. Okay? there's no reason for you to process something that fast. That's a waste of energy. And what will happen is a bottleneck will happen. Because it's like, well, I'm taking this information's coming at them so fast, and it's like, oh, well, you didn't put as much in here as I can handle, so now I have all this wasted space, and that wasted space in computing becomes a bottleneck. Becomes pop-in. Something that just pop right in. Which happens. I mean, it happened on the PlayStation as well. But it just, what they've done is it won't happen as much on the PlayStation. Not that it won't happen, it just doesn't happen as much. You all should be able to get your hands on a PS5 physically starting at the end of February, because Sony is going to have to put them back into the stores to make up for the loss because of the scalpers, because the people that buy the consoles also buy the games. Also, when they buy the games, they also buy the stuff. They buy extra. We buy extra stuff. Buy extra Game Pass. We buy extra chargers. If it's an Xbox, you buy extra batteries. There's this big support thing around PlayStation. The headsets, which are extremely difficult to find, depending on where you live in the United States, those you should be able to get those in by March 1st or 2nd everywhere. Like, you should be able to walk into Walmart and get some, or Target and get some, and stuff like that. So it's just It's just 90. You're about 60 days away, 60, 70 days away from being able to do that. So, PS5 Pro better have 2 terabyte storage at least. I mean, how about 1 terabyte? You know, and again, I'm not in danger of it because I've got, how many games do I have on there? So I've got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and again, my stuff is physical. So I guess I assume if I don't know how that works as far as space, but I'm playing Madden 21 for the PS4. I'm playing Assassin's Creed on there. Those are and Spider-Man Remaster. I'm going back through the remaster at 60 frames per second. 60 frames and with ray tracing, and I'm going to stream a little bit of that today. So I'm going to stream a little bit of that today. But playing that game is addictive, and I only like to play for a couple hours. So that's one reason why I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep streaming like this. So, but I'm going to stream some gameplay today. People say to get the series. Well, actually, right now, I agree with the series 7. Yeah, the SteelSeries 7P, but the SteelSeries 7P is $50 more. So I think they're $149.99. I mean, again, you're right, and they were on sale at GameStop, and I missed it. They were on sale for $70. They were $69.99. So yeah, they were really good. They man, they were something else. So let's look at let me make a warped attempt to Google this. Let's see here, PS5. We'll look at these exclusives for the PS5. And if you don't know, Returnal got rated, I think, somewhere, and it will be out. It will be out here in March. Yeah, March 19th. So I'm going to pull this up here onto the screen. If I can do this correct here, I need to go over here. Let's make this small. Nope, this is not what I want here on my screen. Let me delete that. I don't even know why that's up there. That's not what I chose. And here we go. Alright, so these are some of the games that will be coming out. So this is for 2021. These are slated to be out in 2021. Returnal is number 1. Now let me go over here. So PS5, I assume is going to go to PC down the road, but it's from Housemarque. Yeah, I think, a lot of people, and it's been reported that, this game is a possible trial, and if it does well, if it gets received well, Housemarque could be purchased by Sony. We'll have to wait and see. But again, this is March 19th, and this is from Housemarque. This is an exclusive game for the PlayStation 5 console. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We've seen a lot of these. Seen a lot of gameplay with this. So, but it's from Insomniac. Still no release date. They say first half of 2021. So maybe we'll get some information in the next month or two about this. We'll have to wait and see. A game I'm very excited about, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. This is a game they've gone with the kind of the Pixar-looking cartoon game. Beautiful game, by the way. Beautiful-looking game. Can't wait to play it. Still Q1, so that is sometime before April, I think. I think Q1 means the business quarter. Just look up your business quarters. You can see when Q1 is. I have to wait and see. Again, if it does well, and again, it says it looks equal parts Studio Ghibli, Pixar, and old school 3D action platformer. So again, we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. I'm not a big platform guy, you all know that, but I'll deal with a platformer every once in a while. I will be streaming that game in full, by the way. Okay, Horizon Forbidden West looks like it's from Guerrilla Games, again, first-party studio. Monster first game of Horizon Zero Dawn. Introduced a new protagonist, Aloy, you can see right here. She stepped in when Nathan Drake stepped down. Got to remember, Uncharted 4 came out in 2000 and when was it? Uncharted 4? 2016, I believe. So Horizon Zero Dawn came out 2017. It's the game that made the Pro the Pro. Like if you had the PS4 Pro, you should have bought Horizon Zero Dawn with that 4K TV. You had checkerboard rendering, all that kind of stuff. So this is when it really went to town. Also, they did a good job on Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think it was. They had checkerboard rendering, but this is the very first time, I think one of Sony's first-party studios was doing it. And it's a gorgeous game. This game looks just as gorgeous as well. So, but again, it says second half of 2021. I personally believe it's going to come out in 2022. That's just my personal belief. I got no proof of that. The Neo Collection, for all you people that like to press the square button and roll away from other things with swords. But apparently this is it's going to go up to 4K at 120 FPS for the PS-5. Again, have to see how that turns out. But people swear by Neo. Some people say Neo is a better game than Bloodborne. I don't know. To me, when I played Bloodborne, I hit the triangle I was just hitting like the triangle or the square. So I'm just not a fan of those type of games. So nothing wrong with those games, and people swear by Bloodborne, which people better brace for, because that game will be going to PC later this year. And it's not a big deal, because Bloodborne came out in 2014. So the game it will be 7 years old when it goes to PC. So, but it says here, the complete edition of Neo, you'll be able to upgrade to the respective remastered versions at no cost, as well as transfer your progress from PS4 to PS5. So that's cool as well. Game I am going to be playing, Destruction All-Stars, comes out next month. It looks like Demolition Derby to me. Have to check it out. I personally believe this is Sony's version of that. What was the name of that horrible game that Microsoft had that's always online? I can't remember the name of it. So bad. It made my butt bleed. I mean, actually, my butt bled so bad after that. So, and another game I know a lot of people are excited for, they think it's coming out in 2021, God of War Ragnarok. Everybody keeps saying that you're going to fight Thor. I don't personally believe that. I think you're going to fight Odin. So that's just what I personally believe. But if you fight Thor, you fight Thor, or it's going to have Thor in it. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll definitely have to wait and see. So how that comes about. But God of War is a follow-up to the game of the year, God of War 4. Let's see how that turns out. Now here's a game that's a timed exclusive. I believe this, it's going to PC. It says it's a timed exclusive right here. Deathloop. Looks interesting. I don't know if it's going to be always online. Again, these are all exclusive PS5 games for 2021 that have been announced. Okay? So, and remember, February, you got Destruction All-Stars. That's going to be followed by Returnal. So you're doing pretty well. I say so. A game I am going to buy, day one, is Gran Turismo 7. After seeing that trailer, I about fell out the chair dying. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm going to be driving J-Dub and Lincoln Clay off the road. That'll probably be the car I use right there. So it looks shiny and stuff like that, but I'm going to ding it up. Another game here, Ghostwire Tokyo. Saw this game, not interested in it at all, but This game is coming out onto the PS-5, and well, this I kind of like this girl's glasses, so I may look into it. But you know, this is from the Evil Within developer Tango Gameworks. So again, the Evil Within 1, I guess, wasn't enough because there was a Evil Within 2 because the evil was still there. Whatever happened to the game Dying Light? Isn't Dying Light supposed to come out this month or February? I haven't heard anything else about it. So let's see here. Then here's Stray. Something about a damn cat. That's all we can say. It looks straight trash when I was looking at it at that gameplay thing. I mean, there's a cat, and that's all you need to know. I mean, who cares about a cat? I mean, I don't chase pussy, but maybe you do. All right, so Stray will be coming this year, allegedly. The big one for me, Final Fantasy, I guess would be 10, 15, 16. It says date, release date, no idea, but one can dream. Yeah, so, and I believe Final Fantasy 16 is the game that they actually showed running on a PC. They showed it running on a PC because it was an early build. They just wanted people to know it was coming. And a lot of people are excited. Final Fantasy, they've got like a cult following. And so, but yeah, well, let's check that out. And this looks like that's it. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 is I'm sorry, 16 is the last one. Also, I was to remind you guys to go and buy Final Fantasy 7. It's 50% off. All right, so that means you all need to go ahead and get Final Fantasy 7. You know, just for giggles. So, you hope GT7. GT7 is on the list. But we'll have to see if it's coming out. I still believe GT7 and Thor. That's Thor. My goodness, God of War Ragnarok, even maybe Horizon are going to be pushed to 2022. That's just what I believe because at the end of the year, you've got Madden coming out, you've got FIFA coming out, you've got Halo coming out this year. I mean, it's going to be crowded. Probably another Battlefield will be out. So, you know, it's just, you know, good grief, you know. But Sony's got a lot more surprises for us. So, said Dying Light pushed back. Oh, well, that's terrible. So, yeah, that is terrible. So, but yeah, guys, I mean, so that's a pretty extensive list. And you know, that's a list to keep your PO. Can't afford the O and the R. So, says Neo could use better textures and graphics. Well, again, they are. That's part of the upgrade. So, definitely have to. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, what time am I going to stream? I want to stream literally about 11:30 to Eastern time. So between 11:30 and 12. So, said Halo going to be trash. I hope you're wrong. I mean, I do hope you're wrong. So, but yeah, but again, if you're going to try to build a PC this year, I know a lot of people want to try that. The first thing you got to do is get where do you want to start playing at? If you say, well, I want everything to be 4K 60, then you're going to be paying for that. Okay, so you understand that is expensive. I mean, because you're going to have to go out and get you a bare minimum of 3080, and those things are impossible to find. So, let's see what else we got here. New Bad Company game. That would be cool. New Bad Company game would be good. So the truth he just got the Pulse, but might still get the 7P. Well, again, I should have gotten the 7P when I was at GameStop, and it was either $69 or $79, and I just didn't pick it up. Oh man, excuse me. And I messed up. I should have bought them. That's when I should have got them. So I can't believe that Halo won't be trash. But So a new band company would be welcome. The last ones here. Just kind of winding it down now. But yeah, PlayStation's got plenty coming out for everybody, and again, by the time most people get the PlayStation, you'll have plenty of games. You'll be able to just get your PlayStation and then get Ken of Bridge of Spirits or Returnal. So it's not the end of the world if you don't have one, and I do understand how disappointing it was and how upsetting it was that you could not get one. So I can appreciate the frustration, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. So yeah, I heard Outriders got delayed, but that's all right. It's just 90 days. It got delayed 90 days, so it's not the end of the world. And they could still push it up. Eric says he has a 2070, but it's in a laptop. Really can't overclock much. Yeah. Well, again, your PlayStation 5 is roughly at something called a 2070 Super. Hope I'm saying that right. It's a 2070 Super as far as the graphics and what it can do. That's roughly where your games are going to be. Some will be close to a 20-inch. Sometimes it will be at a 2080 as well. All right? Sometime it'll be at a 2080 as well. But for the most part, your stuff will be at a 2070. The Xbox is going to be closer to a 2060. Doesn't mean, however, that it won't get close to the 2070, and their first-party games will be off the chart looking. I'm not here to say they're going to be good games. I'm here to say they're going to be good-looking games. Perfect Dark is going to be a good-looking game. Forza 8, I guess it would be. That's going to be a really good-looking game. I'm not here to look. I'm not here. The console war is over. I'm not here to claim that the games are going to be good or bad, because that's subjective, but they are going to look good, okay? They may play like crap. I mean, you guys could be right. You can be like, man, the games are trash. I don't care what they look like, fine. I mean, I get that. I understand that. But, again, the console war is over. And, I mean, you got Microsoft openly soliciting people to see if they can go ahead and get the, they can go ahead and check out the DualSense to see how it's going. So, but yeah. So are they gonna? Yeah, they're gonna have a demo. And again, and I guarantee you, people are gonna kill the demo. People will say, "Oh, this is trash. I mean, this is no good." And this is why they quit giving us demonstration disc. I remember when I played Saints Row on the Xbox 360. That was it was a demo at first. It was like they had maybe an hour or 2 hour demo. Like, oh, this is actually not bad. It's a rip off of Grand Theft Auto, but and that was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which by a lot of people's standards is the best Grand Theft Auto. So, but at the end of the day, it's not. So these developers, they hearing that people saying, man, this is trash, I don't want this is garbage. And then guess what? All developers stopped giving us free demonstration discs. It is what it is. So, yeah, I mean, again, as far as what happened here in the United States yesterday, that was coming. Unfortunately, they've been lying about the election results, saying it had been stolen and stuff like that. And they sued. They had about I'm trying to think, close to 40 or 50 lawsuits, and all those judges just threw them out of court. They just threw them out of court. So they had no evidence, and it's not that there aren't different things that go on in free elections. And I'll tell you why. Because if you do a recount, you'll always find more votes that the machine didn't tally, but the average is that the machines will tally about 400 to 600 votes. So, but I mean, people heard the phone call with him begging the Georgia board of director or who this guy was, claiming that you need to find me 11,000 more votes and stuff like that. He lost, and then on top of that, the party lost 2 seats in Georgia yesterday. I mean, I went to work, and it was like the Republicans had 50 seats, right? That's when I went to work in the morning. When I got to work, the Republicans still had 50 seats, but the Democrats had 49. I'm like, it was just 50 to 48 when I left the house. You know, so, and then that guy picked up that other seat. So, look, he got beat. I'm really starting to think that he'd have done something illegal and they're going to find out about it. He's afraid of some kind of prosecution because, I just don't get it. I was laughing at it because I'm like, they were like, well, how come the police won't do anything? I'm like, because they're all everybody's in the same area, right? So as long as you know where people are, they're not going to rush to get you out. Because everything they did, they can just replace. Statues can be redone and furniture can be replaced. So, but are they going to? But what has happened is because, and I was watching Fox News this morning, what the one guy said was right. Now Kamala Harris is going to be the tiebreaker, and the person that Joe Biden, or as Kamala Harris would say his name, Joe Biden, the way President-elect Joe Biden, what he can do is he's going to choose a Department of Justice head, and they're just going to flat ask him during confirmation, do you plan on prosecuting the people who did this under, they can say, are you going to prosecute them under, under the Sedation Act? Are you going to prosecute them under treason? And if he says yes, and that's punishable by death, you're going to have a lot of dead people. Because, those people were stupid. In there, they were smart enough to have masks on, and they're taking pictures and taking selfies. They're going to prison, so I'm not worried about it. But, yeah, that's democracy. You got a bunch of butthurt people. The country, the United States demographically is changing. There's going to be more people. Well, let's see if we can pull this up on the screen here, because we did this at work yesterday. Let me pull this up right here and put 2050. Whoop. Okay, let me put this on the screen. Let's see, let me go here, let me put that up on the screen. Now, this is from years ago. I think this picture you're going to see is from 2014. That's what an American is going to look like in 30 years. Okay? So you're seeing a major demographic switch. And you got a lot of people who don't like that. But again, she looks more like a Native American. Okay? Again, everybody in American history is taught Americans are red. Native Americans are red. Europeans are white. Okay? Americans are not white. Those are Europeans, or people with European ancestry. But again, this is 2050, guys. So we're in 2021. This is 30 years from now. Okay? So this is the complexion. This is the eye color, roughly. And this is ray tracing in her eyes, by the way. Can you see the ray tracing in her eyes, all you people who love ray tracing? But you can see some European features in her. You see the thick lips, like that is African descent, the wide nose. That is African. So, but my point to you is it doesn't, so this is why Trump wanted to build his wall. Because they know this is happening too. And a lot of those people, not all those people, yesterday, they are afraid of this. And, to me, I take this girl out for bearing wings. But, just to let you know. But ultimately, this is just a rough look. And this is National Geographic. I don't want to hear people saying you're being political and all that kind of stuff. This is the truth of what we're going to look like in 30 years, give or take. maybe a little lighter, but ultimately you can see where we're going. So, but it is what it is, people. So, you know, people butthurt. And then you got to look at the fact that he was saying things that Vice President Pence was going to be able to do things that he can't do constitutionally. He just got up there and he lied. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it anymore. Okay? The Vice President of the United States' job is to oversee the Senate. So, if at any given time you turn on C-SPAN in the next 4 years, okay, at any time in the next 2 years, if Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is presiding over the Senate, they will refer to her as Madam President, not because she's President of the United States, but because she's President of the Senate. And you need to understand, a lot of people that follow 45, they don't understand American, they don't understand the separation of powers. They don't get it because they're scared. And you know, when you're scared, you don't think straight, you don't think logically. But this is old. They don't understand that. Again, foreign people understand the American government and the checks and balances because they actually learn it. They don't understand that. Okay, they don't understand that, because they operate off the term, I'm white and I say so. I don't have to know the separation of church and state. Even though the Constitution says that, I'm white and I say so. So that's what you saw. You saw white privilege. All right? So it's going to catch up to them in the end. But why didn't they treat those protesters like any other group, any other protest group? That's up for debate. There will be an investigation on that as well. But this is what we're going to look like, and a lot of people are afraid. I mean, you all can just go back and watch Dave Chappelle, the comedian. Just type in Dave Chappelle, Saturday Night Live, election. He was hosting Saturday Night Live, and he had about an 11-minute monologue. He didn't tell no jokes. He did an 11-minute monologue, and it was good. I'm not going to repeat it, but just FYI for you guys. That's what you saw yesterday. Was it an embarrassment? Absolutely. An absolute embarrassment. How in the world the United States is going to go around and tell other countries how to run their elections, and then that happens, but that's what happens. It wasn't that they keep saying 70+ million people voted for Trump and Pence. They're 100% correct. The problem is 81 million people voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's the truth. Okay? So they won what would be in the United States is called the popular vote, which doesn't matter because we have an electoral college. So what they wanted to do was stop the electoral college from officially being read in the Congress. That's what they were trying to stop, and they delayed it for like 4.5 hours. They did it anyway, and Biden and Harris are now officially going to be they're now official. They're hemmed up at the church. He put a ring. We put a ring on it, if you want to call it like what you kids say. So we put a ring on it. So it is what it is. But that's ultimately what you saw. This look on this person's face on the screen is why you saw it. So that's the end of it. Now look, the Republicans actually did stand up and call BS on it. So on what happened. So anytime you lose Lindsey Graham has had his head so far up Trump's butt that you don't know the differences. Trump will stop and then his head will go further. But Lindsey Graham was like, hey, look, I'm done with this. And that's, he was teared up, and anytime, and then doesn't absolve him from the stuff he's done and said, but he did it. So Mitt Romney was like, man, look, I've lost presidential elections and it stinks. Everybody kind of chuckled. If you don't know, Mitt Romney lost to Barack Obama in 2012. And yes, Mitt Romney got more votes the day of. But Barack Obama had already banked because of early voting. Barack Obama had already banked enough vote to, and I think Barack Obama won by like 3.5 percentage points overall. But it is what it is, you know. And I said you had Georgia. Georgia is now, I mean, Georgia, I can't believe Georgia is not only a blue state, but they had 2 Democratic senators. You know, that alone is a huge demographic shift. You know, so what is it? Oh, well, they're not voting correctly. Oh, this is unfair. There's dead people voting. Fine, where's your proof? Where's your proof? Oh, you just have conspiracy theories? No, that's not going to fly, man. That's not going to fly. I mean, hey, look, I like conspiracies, okay? I believe a flying disc crashed at Roswell in 1947. I truly do believe that. But I'm not going to go online and rail like an idiot because I don't have no proof. I mean, I've got some supposition. I could say, well, here's eyewitness testimony, but that doesn't prove anything. You know, it just adds to it. Like, you know, you could say, well, are the people who said that the disc crashed, are they, you know, it's supposition. You know, are they credible? Yeah. Was there a phone call from the Roswell's flight center to the city morgue? And you know, yes, there was. Now, according to the person who answered the phone, the Roswell officer asked for coffins 3 feet long, you know, 3 by 5. And they thought those were for children. Now, again, guess what? I can't prove it. I can prove that there was a phone call. I can show you the phone records, but that doesn't prove what the guy said over the phone, right? That's a difference. That's different. Now, the problem is that I could say, well, hey, the Army Air Force of Roswell, they denied that phone call was ever made. You know, I got that, but that's called supposition. All it proves is that they lied about the phone call, but it's still supposition. So, but again, they said that the machines were rigged and they were loading vote. That's not true. The software company is suing Fox News. They're suing Sean Hannity. They're suing Lou Dobbs. And they're suing Newsmax because they kept lying about that. So they're being sued. You know, so it is what it is. I don't know what else to say about it anymore. But when you get a group of people that are scared, okay, that because of what the demographic shift in the United States is going to be, because of the demographic shift, the politics shift as well with the demographics. Okay, that's why, and this, I'll bring it back to gaming, this is why you got people railing against The Last of Us Part 2. Even though The Last of Us Part 2 is a made-up world. I mean, the world does not, well, technically, we're in a pandemic, so all right, fine. But the world that those characters live in are made up. They're made up. Okay? But why were they upset? Well, because the white guy got killed early in the game. A lot of people get killed in that game. You know, the game is not about him. The game is about the girl. And, oh, I can't play as a girl. I mean, you get right back to that again. You know, like I said, I mean, you know, they said that they had no problem saying that Naughty Dog lied about on advertisements, but had no problem with the Russo brothers using misleading advertisement for the Avenger movies. Like they don't care about that because the Avengers are mostly white guys. Okay? The Avengers are mostly white guys. So it's okay because see, we're the center of attention. Okay? So it's okay as long as I'm the center of attention. But as soon as you move the center of attention off of me and somebody else gets attention, I got to feel some kind of way. That's what you're dealing with. This is why they got upset. This is why they're mad at Kathleen Kennedy from Star Wars. So she destroyed Luke Skywalker. He's my hero. I mean, Luke Skywalker is a made-up man that another man made up named George Lucas. And his real name originally was Luke Starkiller. So at the end, I mean, the original name of Star Wars was, I believe it was called Luke Starkiller and the Journey of the Wheels. I think that's the official name, but they changed it to Star Wars. Okay? So, you know, it's just, that's what you're dealing with at this point. You know, there's again, there's other factors too. I mean, there's a lot of demographic shifts. You got a opioid epidemic that they're claiming isn't as bad as the crack epidemic, but I'm telling you right now, as somebody who's in the medical field, it's worse. The opioid epidemic is worse than the crack epidemic ever was. But you wouldn't know that unless you go through eastern Kentucky or western West Virginia or southern Pennsylvania or southeast Pennsylvania or northeast Ohio, where it looks like an atomic bomb fell from the sky and blew up those neighborhoods. But what blew up in those neighborhoods was opioids. You know, so I mean, again, it's just that's what you're dealing with at this point. That's why I mean, to me, Biden and Harris getting in, Biden was talking about if we win both these Senate seats, he's going to give a check out for 2 stacks. Well, all right, fine. Where's I want my Biden bucks. We got Trump bucks. I want my Biden bucks. Okay, so that's fine. You know, but again, the people that put them in office are going to want things. All right, that's the way this works. I'm a constituent. You know, if my constituency says I want to defund the police, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to defund the police. Okay, because what did they do yesterday? Let people in the Capitol? You know. I mean, what kind of policing is that? Hell, I can do that. You know. Like, oh yeah, everybody just come on down. The price is right in here. You know, so, but yeah, I mean, so you got these people upset at Kathleen Kennedy, and now they're saying that, all right, think about this. There's a TV show on called The Mandalorian. Everybody's really excited about The Mandalorian and what The Mandalorian, what happened. I'm not going to spoil it. People need to go watch it. But you had these people saying, yes, yes, Kathleen Kennedy, this is in your face. Kathleen Kennedy, we had our hero. Our hero is up on the screen. Yes, yes, Jon Favreau, thank you. Yes, Dave Filoni, thank you. Do you know who the executive producer of The Mandalorian is? And what if I told you it was Kathleen Kennedy? And it was Kathleen Kennedy who had to okay the script. It was Kathleen Kennedy who had to fund the show because she's in charge. It is Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau who work for Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy signing their checks. Okay? So make no mistake about it. It was Kathleen Kennedy who, after the 4th episode of the first season of The Mandalorian, she approved the 2nd season off the rip, 4 episodes in. She saw the ratings. She said, people really like this show. We're going to do another season. And she approved 2 more seasons. So, and she added on the Mandalorian show. And she added on the Ahsoka show. And she's adding on she added on the Bad Bunch show. Okay? So, I mean, it is what it is. But you got these stupid people, yes, yes, Kathleen, in your face. Meanwhile, Kathleen's is the reason why you even got that show in the friggin' first place. But they don't want to give her any credit because they're still mad at her for what happened in The Force Awakens, and Rey is a Mary Sue, and Rey is a white woman, and she's taking the place of the white man, and you know, that's the, you know. I mean, that's what you're doing. That's what you're dealing with at this point. So that's what you're dealing with. But yeah, like I said, that's what you saw yesterday. You actually saw the culmination of I'm white and I say so. So now they're around thinking that, well, because we were there for Donald Trump, they're not going to arrest us. They were literally on TV saying they can't arrest us. This is a revolution. Okay, so you just admit right there that you commit a treasonous, traitor act of sedition, and you don't think you're going to get prosecuted? Are you out of your friggin' mind? But do you know what allows that person to say that? It's, I'm white and I say so. Okay? So that's literally that. So they don't think nothing's going to happen to them. You know, so it's crazy. I mean, meanwhile, the new Attorney General, who's Merrick Garland, apparently, is going to get nominated. He's going to pass because the Democrats control the Senate. And he is going to sit up there and ram a rod up those people's cheeks. Okay, you talking about busting some cheeks. Those people who did that yesterday are going to get their cheeks busted because they're going to prison and their shower daddy going to be there next to them. They can scream, "Don't do that to me, shower daddy. I'm white and I say so." "Oh, I'm sorry, I dropped the soap, shower daddy, but I'm white and I say so." You know, so that's the way they're going to be dealing with it. So, but this had nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, who I've said before that I support the sentiment, but not the organization. This has nothing to do with the anti-fascist Antifa or whatever it's called. Again, this had nothing to do with them. You know, this had to do with these idiot Trump supporters who Trump has lied to from day one, okay, and so they don't believe nobody but him. So when he got up there and said that Mike Pence can stop this, Mike Pence, our great Vice President Mike Pence, is going to do the right thing, he was lying, because constitutionally, Mike Pence did exactly what he's supposed to do according to the Constitution. But they don't read the Constitution because the Constitution doesn't apply to them. Why? Because I'm white and I say so. Okay, so that's the way that works. It did look like a third world country. But again, if you're a white supremacist, you would much rather see a third world country than be subjugated under the boot of somebody who looks like that woman on the screen. They're just going to, it's like, I'm not getting the country that my grandfather got. I'm not getting the country that my great-grandfather got. I'm not getting the country that my father got. Therefore, I have the right to turn it down or tear it down. That's what you saw. Now, thank goodness Trump said at 3 o'clock. You know, Trump's booted off of Twitter. Trump lost his Twitter account. Okay? That's why he's not saying nothing. He's trying to jump. So somebody needs to let Trump use their Twitter. So he got booted off of Twitter. He got booted off of Facebook, because everybody knows that when a new Attorney General comes in, there are going to be some people getting prosecuted. What did Chris Rock say? Not Chris Rock. Chris Carter say? Somebody's going to go to jail. But look, shout out, look, Trump will be in office for 13 more days. Let me look here. Yeah, today's the 7th, so he'll be in office 13 more days. So I'll actually be at work when Biden and Harris take office. So, but that's historical. That is historic. She's the first woman of mixed race descent to be elected to that office. So congratulations to her. And look at what Trump did. Trump lost the presidency. In his presidency, the Republicans lost the House, and now they lost the Senate. So that's how terrible a president he was, okay? So, and we got 300,000 fellow countrymen dead over this virus because of the way it was handled. So, it is what it is. So, but people, I really don't like talking about it, because now that there's been, if they're going to consider what you saw an act of insurrection, a coup, anybody talking about it, they can literally just start listening to it. They can flag the channel. They can delete accounts. That's why I try to stay out of stuff like that. But what you saw yesterday, I know there's people from around the world that listen, but that's what you saw yesterday, was the group that lost it, okay? So, because they've been lied to, like Phil Spencer been lying to the Xbox community. They've been getting lied to by other people, saying that it was a fraud, it was a sham election, it was fraud. They don't like the fact that our election was, you had vote come in, you had day of vote come in, which Trump won day of vote, okay? And then you still had absentee and mail balloting. This is why it took so long to declare a winner, because all these, they were like, you have till whatever, November 6th to mail your ballot in, as long as it was post-dated or mailed out on November 6th, okay, as long as it was post-dated, that was fine. That was fine. So people got them, and it was ridiculous. Trump tried to shut down the post office. He was threatening the mail carriers. So it was crazy. So, but we're fine. United States is fine. The sun is here. I'm here. We're all here. Hit that like button, people, because at this point, I am out of here. So, just remember, keep an eye out for that PS-5. Understand that there's going to be a lot of PS-5 exclusives coming up in 2021. Don't fret if you're having issues buying a GPU right now. If you're building a computer and try to get the motherboard. Motherboards are actually easy to find. I've got the 4700 build for AMD. Remember, there's different builds. Don't buy an AMD chip and then buy a motherboard for Intel. Always double check that. Make sure you get the right motherboard. I like AMD, but I have stock at AMD, so I'm biased. I am biased. So get what you can. Decide where you're going to play at. There's nothing wrong with playing at 1080p, 60 frames a second with HDR. As long as you got V-Sync or G-Sync, you'll be fine. You'll be fine because you can have it 1080p resolution, turn all your settings up to ultra and high. You'll be like, oh wow, this looks better than it does on the PS-4 or on the Xbox. It's like, yeah, because the PS4 and the Xbox are in mid settings, they're in low settings in order to achieve that resolution. So, but all right, guys, I'm going to get on off of here. I do appreciate you all being here as always. Shout out to everybody that came by. Shout out to everybody for sharing the video. And Paul G and Dribble Piss, if I don't hear from you tonight by 7 p.m., I'm going to redraw for Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay? So you guys take it easy. You all stay blessed. Have a good one. Peace.
Let me